Morning all. So something a bit different today. I'm a Zwift user. I like Zwift. I enjoy Zwift. I do a lot of racing on Zwift, as you're probably aware. But given the recent demise of RGT, I thought it'd be a good idea just to have a look at some of the alternatives out there. I occasionally have used them. Indie Velo I race on occasionally, and I'll be looking at that later on. And one sec. Gonna have a look at my Whoosh as well, given it's free, and I'll talk a little bit about that on when I look at it. But today I'm doing a race on Rouvy, so it's literally load it up, do a race. I've used Rouvy in the past. I would say 3 or 4 years ago, probably. I had an account. Don't remember it. I remember it not being great, is what I remember. The augmented reality, i.e., the graphics over the video, just didn't work very well. It looked a bit rubbish. The videos I remember were being quite jerky. So, be interesting to see if it's changed and the differences. Obviously, Rouvy is subscription based like Zwift, similar price. I've joined a race. It has a few people in it. I think, don't know how many exactly. Not sure. Looking at the display, I'm not sure how you tell. It's about 30k. 45 minutes maybe, but that's really all I know. Doesn't seem to have any sort of categorization like Zwift, so don't know who I'm racing against, what their powers will be. When I did look at the list of users, it just seemed to list FTPs, not what's per kilo, which not overly helpful if you don't know people's weight. It has a big effect on it. Watching the warm-up there that it's got me doing, it just seems to be a lot of people stretching, getting on and getting off the bikes, which get very annoying after a while. Be nice to be able to disable that for the warm-up. Had a few problems with the streaming. Didn't seem to want to stream it in the normal way, so I've had to change the streaming to get that working, but hopefully you can see it. I think it's streaming successfully now. Other things just to mention, we've got a companion app. Looks a little bit more limited than Zwift's. Gives me speed and things. Don't think it's got any sort of map or anything on it. Maybe that'll change when the race starts. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I think that's all. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, it's not going to be a full review. Obviously. I've literally installed it, joined a race, downloaded the video. Just worth mentioning that in advance for this route. I downloaded the HD version or the 1080p version of the video, which was about 5 gig. So, don't know what effect that'll have because I've got no comparison, but hopefully that means the video will be nice and smooth. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll probably occasionally jump in and out and make comments, see what's going on, and then have a chat at the end. Obviously, if you want to get my opinions, which I will give more at the end, you'll need to, well, skip through the video. 45 minutes, as I said, probably. I'm going to leave the whole stream on there, but feel free to fast forward to the end and I'll let you know how it compared, basically. We'll see what it's like compared to Zwift. So, enjoy, and I'll talk to you later. Well, there we go. Complete and utter failure. Not a great start. It seems to be showing me still people warming up. The video's not moving. Hopeless. Can't race that. Let me try rejoining the race and see what happens. No, exactly the same. Okay, well, not a great start, Rouvy, I'm afraid. Totally unusable. What I'm going to do, I don't know if it'll let me back in, I'm going to restart the app, see what happens then. So stay tuned, see if we can get it going. As I say that, it seems to have come to life. So, let's see what happens then. No idea where people are. In front of me, 20 metres. Is that me in the purple? I'm guessing so. So straight into an incline, it's telling me 7.6. Feels similar to that sort of incline on Zwift. So, see if we can catch a few people, seeing as we started late. Oh, and we've gone wrong again. Excellent. Right, I'm going to try and restart the app. Well, it let me rejoin. Not sure if it's put me back at the beginning or where I was, because I've no idea where I was. It seems to have picked it up from where I was. So we'll push on from here, see what we can do. Not the best to start, so. Generally, graphics seem quite good though now. It doesn't seem quite so out of place, the augmented reality part here. So, I don't like the camera angle. Not sure why it's got me watching from the side. I'll see if I can change that. See what the app does. Got a button that says toggle controls. Doesn't seem to do anything. I do get a map on the app. It's quite nice. And then my info. But that's all. Oh, I've lost. Oh, I see. Toggle controls is doing the screen. Right. Okay. Slightly odd. So real cyclists going past me on mountain bikes. I assume they're e-bikes, but slightly odd feeling, knowing who is and who isn't racing. I was wondering what would happen when cars go through you and you disappear. I guess that's better than having a car go through you, but it's just a bit odd. Few little virtual things on the side of the road there. It's quite impressive. They fitted in quite well. Now, one thing I've noticed, I'm not sure what Rouvy does in the way of trainer difficulty, but I'm in my top gear on 6%, finding it quite tough, so I'm assuming it's not by default adjusting it like Zwift does at 50% by default, because it seems about twice as hard. Now, the slightly frustrating thing now is due to those issues at the beginning. I'm now a long way behind people in front, so probably not going to catch anyone now. Likely to be riding on my own for the rest of the race. No idea what the numbers on the right mean of my name. I'm number 1 apparently. Others got to 82. So I have to look into that afterwards. Again, whether we can change it, but frustrating, it only gives a distance to the rider in front, not a time gap, because it means nothing to me. I don't know how fast I'm going. It seems to be going up and then down a bit, but it's not overly useful. Time gap would be much more useful. Okay, seeing as I'm stuck on my own for a bit, I'm just going to go into the settings, have a look, see what's in there, and then we'll come back to the race. I'll mute the mic while I'm doing this. So, nothing of use in there. Couldn't see anything on the trainer difficulty. Maybe that's in the pairing screen. I'll have a check. Didn't see any way to change the camera angle. Sure, it's possible, but we probably need to look up the instructions. I can do that on my phone while I'm cycling. In fairness to Rouvy, it did offer me a tutorial ride, which I declined, and I suspect some of this might have been mentioned. Search a few things. Let's search that camera in the help system, see what we get. Being a bit of an idiot, aren't I? Can't change the camera angle, can we? Because it's fixed from the person that's recording it, obviously. Yeah, took me a little while to realise that. Obviously, because it's a video, it can't give me a different one. Just slightly annoying that I'm slightly to the side. Don't like that. Let's have a look for trainer difficulty. Yeah, because 8.4%, that's already an effort. Shouldn't be so much. Well, no, sorry, it should be. Absolutely it should be. I'm not used to it, and it'd be nice to change it. Because I'm not that fit. Yeah, so just doing a bit of Googling, it does appear that it's fixed in races. So, you know, keeps everyone the same, I guess, but does make it more difficult. And if you're not used to it, it's quite a change. I mean, finding 4% a challenge, 5% a challenge is, yeah, it's just different. And it's what I'd be feeling outside, or closer to, so I could absolutely argue it's better, but I do like the fact that Zwift gives you the option to change it. It doesn't make it easier, just means you can go up steeper slopes without having to put down so much power. Obviously you got them slower, so it's your choice. It's a trade-off between the effort you put in and the time it takes. Effectively, that's what you're doing with the trainer difficulty in Zwift. Oh, I got a 1. What does that mean? 2. Level. There we go. There we go. Must be the level. There we go. So that's the rider levels. So up there 3. Behalia. Guess quite new as well, whereas you've got 57. Peebo 1959, obviously been using Rouvy a while. Right. Oh, didn't pick the best route for this. Really didn't. Looks like there's a little bit of downhill later on, but a lot of uphill. And without the trainer difficulty setting, it's making it a very hard ride. I like the little drafting indicator. It's quite nice. Not available in Zwift. The data's there. If you use Source for Zwift, you can get drafting information. I did try Source. I just found it a bit, just made everything so busy. And the only real benefit that you get, over the normal Zwift interface is the drafting info. So I didn't use it, didn't keep it. Power wise, that should be coming from the trainer. So I should be putting down a similar average power to Zwift, which it seems to be. So that seems fairly okay. Only looked to be about halfway up so far. I think my 45 minutes was a bit hopeful. Hadn't actually looked at the profile. Whew. Would not want to be doing anything steeper, because this is already a struggle. So as much as I'm enjoying the video, it's very pretty apart from the weather. That would cause me an issue longer term. I enjoy the steeper climbs. Yes, I know they're not steeper in Zwift because of the training difficulty, but the variety. By being able to adjust it, it means I know up to sort of 12-13% I'm okay. About double this. Above that, it's going to be a real effort. So, whereas obviously now, anything above about 7%, I'm going to be struggling. Right, other things to mention. The video quality seems very good. Don't know how different it would be if I either didn't download or downloaded lower quality, but it's very smooth. Right. Starting to get tough now, so I'm going to mute my mic so you don't have to listen to me, and then I'll come back later. Feel free to fast forward. there we go. We're finished. Yeah, it was different. Had a lot of problems with my gears, I think. That's something separate, but anyway. So, impressions of it. Start with the video. It's brilliant, I have to say. The augmented reality feature works very well. I soon forgot about it. The things on the side of the road, the furniture, like the arch there, the boards, those large bottles and things, perfectly placed. Didn't look like they shouldn't be there. Very good. And the rider positioning on the road, it looked like I was riding on the road, which I thought was really good. Slightly odd the way you disappear when a car goes past, but I guess that's probably better than the car going through you. For high speed downhill, the video seemed to get a little bit jerky. I'm not sure why, whether it was having to do funny things with the speed of it, but that was the only time I noticed that it was a bit odd, but otherwise it was brilliant. Worked really, really well. Other things that I like the heads-up display on the left at the top. I like the way it gives your power zones and heart rate zones on it. It's very good. Yeah, that works well. What I will say is, obviously, I picked a rubbish race and a rubbish route to really try it. Going straight uphill and just being up and down the other side meant that I didn't get any experience of riding in a group or anything like that, which I think would have been interesting. So it's a shame I missed that, but that's my fault. I had some graphical glitches at the start. I think that was probably because it wanted me to do the tutorial, and I kept skipping it and then going back and repairing, and every time I came out it wanted me to do the tutorial, and I think it was overlaying itself or something funny went on. I mean, yes, it's a bug, and I've never had anything like that on Zwift, but I'll let that one go, because actually the rest of the video was really good. So, what didn't I like? In fairness, quite a bit, unfortunately. The biggest issue I had riding on it was the lack of trainer difficulty settings. It meant that anything over 7% was a real struggle, and I'll be honest, not enjoyable, because my cadence went so slow. I was really struggling to get the power down. And I know that absolutely that's my fitness and my strength, there's the issue, but not being able to adjust it to adapt for that meant it was hard work. And then the other side of that was coming down the hills, anything over about 3% downhill, and I was spinning out my smallest gear. So I couldn't put the power downhill either. So you seem to lose it both at the top and the bottom because of that, which made it, just there were bits where I couldn't pedal. I couldn't put the power down. And maybe, again, that's real life. I'd probably have spun out in real life, but when I'm doing it as a workout or something, if there's bits where I can't pedal, that's a waste of time, really. So that's something I think is a bit of an issue. Missed having a map on the screen. Quite nice to have a map, see where you're going. What else? The companion app. It's not quite as developed as the one on Zwift, I would say. You don't have any controls or anything, very little in the way of controls. What I could do was I could go to the map and I could zoom, pinch and zoom and move it around and look at the whole route. But frustratingly, a couple of seconds after you do that, every time it goes back to its default scale with you in the middle, so you lose that overview. So it's not really much use to try and get a picture of where you are. You can see where you are and then you lose it again. You've got to do it every time. So that was a little bit frustrating. Yeah. Overall, it was fine. It was fun. I wouldn't pay for it, is the bottom line. It certainly wouldn't replace Zwift. I don't see it suiting me as much. I think other people it will absolutely suit, and I think if the big advantage it's got is the number of routes and the videos that go with them. You can go and do those routes that you're never possibly going to get to do in real life, and it's videos of them, which I think is absolutely brilliant. The problem is there's too many downsides for me, and that means I wouldn't pay for it alongside Zwift, and it wouldn't replace Zwift for me. So there we go. But yeah, interesting. Good to see it. Bit different. Obviously, as I said, I don't think there's any categorisation in there, so we're all just racing against each other. Whether there is any sort of categorisation or it's coming, I don't know. I guess that could be a bit frustrating at times. I mean, I do like racing against people of a similar ability to me. It means you get nice groups and things, and you can have little battles with people and things, and I really like that. So not having that, I can see, would be frustrating. I don't know how many riders you get in some of the bigger rides. That may make that less of an issue if you've got a lot of riders, but we'd have to see. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. If you want to do the rides, I can absolutely see it would suit you. If you want to do all those routes, you want to see them, you want to have videos, it does that bit of it very, very well. As I said, the quality of the video and the road furniture that it's overlaying and your riding position is absolutely brilliant. But it's just not, for me, a replacement for Zwift. It's different. It's not the same. And it's not what I'm looking for, I think, on my riding. There was a lot of me on my own, and I missed the ability to interact with people. In Zwift, when you go past someone, you give them a ride on, you give them a hand wave, you're talking to people, you're commenting on the ride as you're going on. There's none of, well, certainly as far as I can see, there's none of that social aspect to it. And obviously, the benefit of that is with Zwift, you're sat in a front room, a garage, somewhere on your own, and it gives you a bit more of a feel that you're riding with people. For this, I felt I was riding on my own with computer-generated people because of that. So I think that's missing as well. But yeah, overall, it was alright. It was good. I'm going to stick with Zwift, but I am going to try out Indie Velo and My Wish as well. So if you're interested in either of those, keep an eye on the channel, because they'll probably be coming over the next few days. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.